Right, so with this question here, we've asked to work out the total length of the 7 rods. It's quite clear there, right? And there are 7 rods, right? We've got 4 rods which are horizontal, okay, these long rods here going across, 4 of them. Then we've got the 2 vertical rods at either end, so that gives me 6, and then you've got the diagonal rod, okay? And, you know, most of the rods, we're going to know what the lengths are. So we know, for instance, because that's 2.8, well, this is also going to be 2.8, this is also going to be 2.8, and this is also going to be 2.8, okay? So you've got 4 lots of 2.8 there. You could add them or times them by 4. We know that vertical rod is 1.5, so this is also 1.5. So actually know now most of the rod lengths. In fact, we know 6 of them. The only one we don't know is this diagonal here, okay? Diagonal. But what I want you to appreciate is, right, if you sort of focus on a certain shape, right, you'll be able to see that we can apply Pythagoras' theorem. And of course that shape is a triangle. Perhaps it would be best actually to draw out just the rods that we need in order to see that triangle. So the rods I've drawn out, well, I've drawn that rod there, which is 1.5 meters, okay? I've drawn the horizontal rod here on the bottom, which is 2.8. I'm going to put a right angle here, because there's a right angle here. It's what you'd expect here with a gate, and you know, we're told these are horizontal here, these are vertical, okay? And then we want the diagonal, that diagonal rod there, okay? So I'm just using that vertical, I'm using the horizontal one, and then I've got the diagonal rod. And you can see then, triangle, Pythagoras, that side will be labelled C, and then the other 2 sides then, A and B, okay? So C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, okay? So C squared will be 2.8 squared, plus then B squared 1.5 squared, and you get your calculator, work that out in one go. So 2.8 squared plus 1.5 squared, and that comes to 10.09. And then to get your C, of course, then you need to square root 10.09, okay, because you take the square over square root, so square root the ants on my calculator, and that comes out to be, well, we'll go for 1 decimal place, 3 point, now if you notice there, it's 3.17, so if I just include the first decimal place, but because the next one is a 7, I need to round that up to a 2, right, so 3.2 meters, of course. So then you can get your total length, right, using the using now the length we've got for the diagonal, which is 3.2, plus then the two vertical rods, and then you've got 4 then of the horizontal rods. Okay, so you can write it out like that if you want, or you know, when you type it into your calculator, you could even do like 3.2. You could do plus 2 times 1.5 plus 4 lots of 2.8, okay, whichever way. And if I press that, then I get 17.4 meters is my final answer, okay.